Okay, today I'll be discussing the social contract through responsibility to protect in the Nigerian narrative and security. Welcome to Analyze the Life. My name is Philip Akadibo. Um, Social contract theory, simply put, is theory that is related to Thomas Hobbes in his Leviathan book, which he wrote, where he postulated the fact that citizens in a given state can give up their liberty or give up the liberty they have in return that states protect them. And this very particular right or contract is enshrined in the constitutions of certain states or in the foundations, the underpinnings on which a state is found. You can see that on the Nigerian principal objective in chapter 2 of the Nigerian Constitution, where it is stated that it's the obligation and duty of Nigerian government to protect the lives and properties of its citizens. And this right is somehow, of course, related to protection of life and property and the chapter 4 of the Constitution under fundamental human right. So that it's meant to be enjoyed. So the social contract theory envisages that states in return has a duty to protect citizens who has given them the rights to rule over them, probably giving up their liberty. Now the question is, the responsibility of states to protect, of course, is also derivable from the sovereignty of that state. Of course, in the 2005 UN General Assembly report, where it was adopted unanimously, that states has to protect their citizens, and in their failure to do that, the international community might interfere. It is espoused that it is the state's responsibility to protect its citizens, and the state has to find a way to do that. It has to organize its domestic internal political structure and policies in order to be able to carry out that mission, that job. So you are looking at the question now. The Nigerian security narrative, how much has it fared in relation to these theories that I have just briefly explained? The question is, in recent times, we've seen a spate of insecurity in Nigeria. We've seen killings from Boko Haram insurgents. We've seen killings from bandits. We've seen kidnappings from bandits. We've seen killing of police officers, killing of civilians in crossfire. A lot of incidents, like day after day, one sad news and gloomy news of criminality after another. So the question is, whose fault is it? Is there any way forward? I'm the kind of guy that like to lament, solution, not lamenting the problem, but lamenting the solution. So I think the question, it can be solved, but there is need to be a serious and thorough look to our constitution as a country and to the kind of politics that we obtain in Nigeria, because those things in effect has historically resulted in the current situation Nigeria finds itself. First of all, is the constitution. The constitution of Nigeria, of course, came from the military regime. Transition. The 1999 constitution was transition from the military era into the democratic era. So the question was there any pool organized for this constitution to reflect the will of the people? For an opinion pool for majority of the country, that whatever opinion draws from it could be actually made what is inside that constitution? There was none. An attempt to do that was made under Jonathan, I think in 2011, Sovereign National Conference or something. Now the report was made, and that report was submitted to the National Assembly. Nobody even spoke about it. It was thrown under the bus. Oh, we're going to look into it. We're going to do something about it. That was the end of the matter. But that was the way forward, because an overhaul of the Nigerian Constitution will shift responsibility, devolve power from the federal government down to states. States should have entire responsibility of the police in the state, some of it, even necessarily the security outfit, most of it, so that the states know the circumstances within their state as to how to secure the state. They know who are the bad people there and how to do that job. Federal government can do that down from Abuja. There need to be a devolution of power economically from federal government down to state. So development comes trickle down. So that when federal direct investment or federal portfolio investment it can come direct to state. It doesn't need to go through the rigors and bureaucracy of the federal government. In that way, you get development and people are somewhat having a welfare that feeds them. Because when you have a state that has much welfare, you won't have somebody looking for guns to carry or who for kidnap, because you are kidnapping to get ransom, to get money. That's the fact. So, but if you have people who are well to do, where the welfare and the resources of the state are well shared through perhaps a security scheme, a social security scheme where citizens get direct benefit from their government and all those things, and people have meaningful works they do. People are orchestrated into different productive agriculture. Do you know even agriculture could be made lucrative in Nigeria if everyone is encouraged to go into agriculture and produce a particular kind of economic crop that could be exchanged with government, and in direct ones, a factory can be created for that product and produced in Nigeria to add value to it. Something like cocoa, for example. You produce chocolate and you sell it abroad. So federal government does the exportation, but in that way, you add value to agricultural product, and the resources that is gained from it is used in creating further infrastructure in the states, and of course, taking care of the welfare of the citizen, building the roads so that people can travel without necessary accidents, deaths after death every day, custom road accidents. I know some come from speeding, but some of them are from the bad roads we have. So these things, when you have people who are well to do, I don't think they have much need of carrying gun to go security. And these things is a result of poorly managed diversity. Also, because some people feel they are marginalized. You see the ESN in the East, of course, protecting themselves. I'm not coming to, I would say they're protecting themselves, of course, from yes men that comes to attack the communities, which is a good thing, because since the federal government has failed in that responsibility, I think a regional, of course, action need to be done, just like Gamotekan is doing. So the federal government has failed in carrying out that state responsibility to protect, as seen as international during the 2005. It has failed to some extent, not entirely yet. It has failed. So which is why it's been augmented by some of these regional security outfits we see. Our constitution should be fashioned in a way that it manages diversity of Nigeria. A rotational presidency that is come with a single term that is definable, a cut in how much political office holders are paid, a cut in tensions, a cut in unnecessary allowance, so that the office is made less attractive, that you are going in there to serve your people. We lack patriotism. That is the main difference between us and a white man. Some of us are still even colonized in our mind. Everything we think the white people will do it for us. The white will produce them. Who are the white? As it is not the same head we have that they have. But these people are able to coordinate their constitution anyway. Not that they don't have problems. They have their own political instability which they try to deal with. Problems are there, but you have to try to deal with it. So Nigeria need to look into a reformation of the constitution and delivering a structure that benefits the country. A devolution of power so that development starts from the states and people can benefit and have a better economic life. When you have that, you have a less tendency of crime, kidnapping, killings. People going to, and that restructuring will also watch our borders, because some of these foreign people that come into the country, the border is too porous. That's where some of these people come into to attack from. That's where some of these arms come into, because Nigeria doesn't have any armed law that allows anybody to own gun. You have to have a license before you can own any gun. A firearm. So where does the arms these bandits use come from? Somebody buys it, somebody pushes it through uncut, somebody gives them to people to pursue whatever agenda they are pursuing. These are the problem. Then look at the second aspect of the politics we have in Nigeria. The politics is not healthy enough. It's still dirty. There is need for sanity and sanitation in our politics, in the sense that politicians who go to office go in there to serve. Because the competition out there in the world is international competition. And if you fall behind, you will become the weakling. You become subject of pity, become subject of aid. Look at what the US is giving you aid, giving you this, giving you that. Why they continue to give you aid? You think those aid is just for nothing. Those aid are influence. Because if your country wants to influence you, they give you money. Some people even borrow money to trap you. So when a country is giving you aid, it means you are sick. They are influencing you, which means they have a right to say what happens in your country. They can threaten you with sanction. They can say you must do this, otherwise we cut you off. Because you are not well. But if you are calling your own shots and you are developed, you will decide what policy you want to adopt for your state. That beats you well, that is in tandem with the normative and cultural and religious background of your geographical territory. So there's a need for sanity in the point that people who go in there, the electorates, have a responsibility to look at who they put into the office. Someone who can deliver on the security of the state, who can put in the infrastructures, equip the security men, project the economic power of the state by using the values of drawing. Look at even Rwanda, that doesn't even have sea, that have been able to develop itself through drawing investment, localizing that investment, that they have a considerable amount of, even though they are going there. But if it can be done in those countries, corruption there is really a serious offense. You don't go into and to steal, and you serve. That is the idea. Amassing wealth and stealing doesn't help anyone. So this is the problem with the Nigerian politics, and to that extent, it has contributed to the insecurity we are experiencing right now. All this banditry and killing and all of those. Okay, look at, I heard the news the other day. The Senate summoned the Major General of the Army, Chief of Service, Army Staff, and the Central Bank Governor, and they are still contesting whether to go to respond on allegations of money provided for buying military equipment for soldiers who are defending the country. Is that kind of thing supposed to be heard when we are fighting insurgency that have lingered for years? And this is a serious problem. We need a full military assault on these bastards to take them out. So these are things we have to look at. So somebody will just go and collect that money and embezzle it. And people are being killed every day. These Islamic people and still projecting their stupid ideas and killing people for no good cause. I mean, and you call yourself a human being. You sit there at the house. For what money? For who? So these things are hard for me to somehow comprehend, because when I look at it somehow, I just get this tired. What the hell is wrong with us? It's a problem I ask, because the competition there is so obvious. But I don't know if our leaders now are so mentally colonized. They think everything comes from the white. We have been independent, but somehow our actions and what we do are being influenced by the North. It's only in few instances that you see our leaders take the strength. Okay, we are not going to do this because it's not the way we do. Very, very few instances. But it seems whatever, we even have more faith in Western product, foreign product, than in our own. So we need to begin patronizing our product. We need to have faith in what we can do, because we have brains from Nigeria out there contributing. We need to have a government where these reforms have been made and these people are brought home to contribute, because we need what they know to create the infrastructures that we need to add value to our products, or whatever product we can get from our African counterpart. The FCTA now, the African Free Trade Container Agreement, provide a very good opportunity for this to be done. So there is need for that. So all this, in a way, has been the accumulation of the insecurity we are seeing today. Free movement of arms, free movement of people who are not properly processed to know who they are. They just come into the country, spreading crimes, killings, So a managed constitution would ensure a managed diversity, rotation of the presidency, in which case nobody will prime himself as being the person controlling who's been ruling the state. No, it goes around. Everybody has the equal opportunity to bring their brain and contribute. Vote. You will now be looking not at the tribe or religion. You'll be looking at what this man has. What is his previous history? What has he done? How much have he been successful? Because some people cannot even manage their own family. You come into to manage a state. If a man cannot manage his family, you are busy marrying 3 wives, and everywhere is in chaos, and you are coming to manage a state with so much diversity. How can you do that? You can't. There is some extent of restraint expected of a leader. A leader in a state. There is some aspect of restraint. So, my dear brothers, is these things that I believe that the Hobson theory, the liberty given up by Nigerians has not yet been met with satisfactory security from the Nigerian state, and more needs to be done. And I really hope that they stop being this doom and gloomy and naive, would I say ignorant, and face the reality of the system. Because the competition is going on. It always goes on, and it's not too late to steer ourselves into the right course. We can do that as a country. And I hope that these things I discuss here would reflect in minds of people somewhere. And that if ourselves, the younger generations, we might someday have the opportunity to serve, that we will do things differently than what is being done today. Thank you, and God bless you, and watch your back. May God protect all of us. Have a nice day.